gain a potential private lender out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's someone that was in my circle that not was I create. We have so many things in common. We went to the same high school, different generation, because he graduated from my high school. I wasn't even born. We went to the same med school. He studied his career. I didn't even think about studying med school. So hey, but when we connect on this, and that's how I was able to put it together. So we create report on that, on the thing that we have in common. And so I even, when we lose it, I even advise it or to move forward with this deal without us. So it then is with the cash that he's gonna receive from this deal, it might be a possible private lender for us if we decide to go this route and invest his money. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well done, man.
that
Sounds like you had a good,
yeah,
it was a good opportunity. You
it
can't lose something you
was
didn't have. There's words of
yeah,
wisdom from Dickens. I
yeah.
like it.
But you have to remind yourself, well, you're gonna start a pity party. You didn't lose it because you didn't. It was it yours. You didn't have it. you cannot lose something you didn't have.
It was another turn at bat, my friend, another repetition,
Yeah,
right?
another
Another
rep,
repetition.
another rep, another rep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I see some new faces on today, new and old faces. Brian Lucier from Aruba. Are you in town? Where are you today, sir? Yeah.
From the lovely Caribbean.
Yeah.
Aruba, but I'm going to stay muted.
You're gonna stay muted. All right, my friend. It's great to see your face on here. I saw Andrea on earlier. Andrea, always good to see your face. Good morning, good evening to you. How was your
Good
weekend?
morning. Good.
Yeah. Anything
Yep.
fun?
Well, it's my son's birthday today. But technically we're going to celebrate it on Friday. That's why I'm not around on Friday. But yeah, we just cook a little for him. And yeah, he got his favorite Inside Out characters for his gift today.
Yeah. Oh, he likes the Inside Out movies, huh?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. That's awesome. Good to see your face. All right. I see a few other people that have signed on. You guys can, if you, while you're signing on, and if you don't want to show your face, that's okay. Just type in the chat. Type in the chat one amazing thing that happened this weekend. Remember how we start every week? We start every week with gratitude, with openness, with love and appreciation. Just post something awesome that happened with you or for you this weekend in the chat. So anybody who's just signing in right now, that would be amazing. And this is how we start raising the vibration for what we're about to attract this week. While you do that, I do see a few other folks. It's funny, I don't know who Angelica iPhone is. I know one Angelica. I wonder if that's her. Derek Young is on. Of course, Ian, Janine, Michelle. Ian, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, man. I too am in the Caribbean. Not that Aruba's in the Caribbean, but I'm in the Caribbean.
Well, we have to one up Brian. No, I'm just kidding. Show me around. What's behind you here? What we got?
The pool and the beach. Behind those trees is the ocean. Just this house that we got, which we're actually not sold on. So we're on like a trial run with this place, and it's a huge house. Just not sold on. However, there is a lot of positive that we came down here, and we've got a lot of other properties to look at that we're going to pick up this week, and our systems and processes are amazing. And my partner Fritz created this incredible spreadsheet that analyzes properties like extremely quickly. So like it's all positive. It's just not gonna move forward with this guy.
Got it. It's all about finding the ones to say no to first before the yeses too. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we've been working on this house for 3 months too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, I'm in the Caribbean. Like, I'm gonna get a tan today. I'm gonna like. I brought out all my fresh black shirts. It's great.
I love that, dude. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am headed today on a week vacation with the boys to the White Mountains and then over to Maine for the East Coast. So that's exciting for me. This weekend we had 2 birthday parties. We had one for my son, his second birthday party. Fun fact about being a divorced family, your kids actually get 2 of everything. 2 birthday parties, 2 Christmases, 2 Easters, 2. They love it, man. If you ever have, if anyone, not that anyone here is ever going to have that challenge, but my kids are now training other kids in their classes with their families starting the separation process. And they're like, oh, it's actually really, really cool on the other side. It's like really cool that they're having that conversation, but they're powerful little guys. Derek Young, reconnect with some old friends, train out a sport and haven't in a while. That's awesome. Michelle, awesome weekend with my mom and family in Maine. 12-mile bike ride, Brian. Holy cow. 12 miles is a long place, dude. Well done. Well done. I'm also supposed to be training. We are heading to Belgium, a few of us, Derek Ebrecht in the community, Dan Botwinick in the community. We're heading to Belgium to do a 1-week Belgian beer bike tour in September. And if you think I've trained even more than 1 mile with that on a bike, I haven't been on a bike since I was probably 14 years old. So we're going to just hope that the beer carries me on that trip in September. We're going to see what happens. Awesome day on Scott's boat yesterday with all the kids fishing and swimming. Oh, fantastic. All right. So those of you checking in now, Dickens just shared he had an opportunity over the weekend that he went for, and he worked hard at, and he actually didn't quite make it. But he's also realizing that you can't lose something you didn't have. And what an awesome opportunity to have a repetition at bat. See that, Dickens? That was a good reframe, right? That's it. That's it. Beautiful. All right. Janine made plans to see a friend in Spain in September. Oh, wow. Yes. That's awesome. That is unbelievable. Cool. I know that last week, to catch people up, we did something that I actually call, I know that Ian and I have different names for that. I call it the stack exercise. And what we did is we had a wonderful woman. Those of you who know Catherine McDonald, she came in and she had a challenge. And so what we did is we took her challenge, right? And we laid out kind of the underlying story, the underlying what actually was going through her mind at the time of this challenge. And Ian had her go through an exercise, finding the evidence of a better story, of a better program, right? We're making things irrational to the rational, right? And yet also honoring that we're all humans and we all have emotions around everything that we do, think, or operate by. It was a beautiful, beautiful exercise. Ian, I think if you're able, maybe not now while you're in the Caribbean, are we able to post that worksheet that you have in the REI Life Unlimited group?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I mean,
So
everything's on my Google Drive. So I can just, I don't know what you think it's like in a file box in my house that I can't do it from the Caribbean, Nick.
I mean, I have it in a big Staples metal file over here. I can't. I leave my house. I can't do it.
I guarantee you, if I come to your house, you have 11 file cabinets with all paper products in there.
That's
yes, I knew it. I knew it. That would never be in a purchase that I ever make in my life.
I know. That was that's 15 years of office stuff that I have to keep filed while we closed our office.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can
That's
post
awesome.
that. And I was hoping that she'd be on today and we could go through a couple things just to give some people, not only the people that were on last week, just an understanding of a little bit more depth. But there's just the new people to learn that exercise, because it's so crucial when those stories come up that are irrational and driven by or fueled by emotion. And then to start to stop that momentum from taking you down a path that you're going to make a decision on that's not going to get you the result that serves you best or goes towards your goal, and then to build a new habit of pattern interruption and working to get this additional skill and habit built. Like there's a lot of benefits in that, even though the exercise is very simple. So yeah, man, I'll post it up.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. So as a catch up, again, we have a few new people on today and a lot of people to see the recording. So when we started these, and we'll post another link to the whole playlist of the Manifest Monday calls. when we started this, a lot of people were coming to the table asking about more like anxiety and scarcity and how do I stop those mind thoughts, right? That every single morning that come in. And I encourage any of you to take a look at those first 1 or 2 Manifest Monday calls where we talk about really sticking that paddle in the sand every single morning. If you're starting to get negative thought patterns that have accumulated over time, right, that sort of settle in your brain, which as we've discussed is just the stories and paradigms that we've been learned and fed between 0 and 7 years old for the most part, right? And that now dictates almost every way we operate, think, or what we do on a day-to-day basis. It's just based on those things that we took in as a child. And that specifically, right, influences and impacts what we do today. And Ian had another amazing exercise, which I think maybe, again, maybe not this one, but some other one where he goes through an assessment tool where we actually get to label and identify you based on, and me and him and everybody, based on like what traits we've adapted and picked up with most, right? And for me specifically, the people pleaser, right? All up until about 2 years ago, and I still have aspects of that we're trying to shed. There's a whole bunch of the aggressor. There's a whole bunch of different things that we have become. And it's just as a result of us learning how to actually be brought up and be safe and loved and accepted in this life. And now that we're adults, now that we're older, now that we're wiser, now that we're on our professional and some of us also our spiritual paths, we get to choose every single day and every single moment what labels we accept, what stories we are operating by. When our brain starts to do the computer program thing and bring us into that maybe negative headspace or that anxiety spiral, we get to choose even then to put the paddle in the sand and say, not today, not this current, or our mountain bikes, we hit the brakes. So like, nope, not going down this path down the mountain today. We're going to do a different path. And the brain comes up with all the reasons why you shouldn't, because that's unknown and that's unclear. And at least this one is known, even if it doesn't feel good, right? We're going to keep you right here today. We still get to choose as divine beings sent by God to live here on this planet every single moment. Today we choose love. Today we choose gratitude. Today we choose abundance. I do not choose any of the other stuff that the brain is feeding me right now. So that's the big recap. And so what we do every single week on Mondays, we meet here in a little community for those who are feeling called, and we talk about and raise our vibration immediately by going into gratitude and awesome things that happened to us this weekend. That's the beginning and that's the opening to a vibrational alignment. And as we move through and we do some breath work, or we can do some exercises to change our physiology, or as we move into that, we finally end it every week with how we actually do want to have this week go. And our 3 big questions, these are all just the big reminders, right? The 3 big questions we ask ourselves. You know you're in alignment when you wake up every day, you ask yourself those 3 questions. How can I show up better for me today? If you haven't already done your journal exercises, right? Either this or right after this call is a really good space to do your journal exercises. How do I show up better for me today? Who else? Nice, Brian. I saw that. Very good. Who else do I want to show up for today? Who else can I send a loving message to or do a random act of kindness for, or an act of service? Like, who else do I want to show up for today? That's number 2. And number 3, what can I do today that moves me one step forward closer to that which brings me the most excitement or passion in my life? For a lot of us, right, doesn't have to be real estate. For a lot of us, it's definitely not business or finance. What is that thing that gives you the most excitement or passion in your life? And the topic today that I was going to bring up, and if anyone else wants to bring anything up, by the way, these calls are for you. They're really for me, but they're also for us to join in community with each other, right? I do this for me to help me raise my vibration. But if anyone wants to chat about anything, the other thing I was going to bring up was going to be childlike curiosity and what that means for us as adults. Childlike curiosity. Oh, Ian. Holy shit. Bill, go ahead, read that out loud, my friend. What is that? Go ahead.
That's what I enjoy doing. I really am passionate about that. Building exercises for people to free themselves of the internal restrictions and constraints that hold them back from living the life that they're capable of living. Max potential.
And I love how you just rattle that off, meaning that you've been doing this for
I
a
can
very
rattle
long
it.
time.
I can rattle it in my sleep. Dude, that's the thing with mastery is you got to not only do you come up with a concept that you like, but you got to practice it. Like I had a mentor tell me, this is a WTD moment, write this down moment, just for everybody on here. He said to me, there are 7 P's that you must follow. Pay the price of practice in private to perform perfectly in public. And I just like, I heard that and nobody else in this room registered with that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. Like, just because I thought of it doesn't mean I'm a master at it. I have to practice this constantly. I have to know this language. I have to know this thing, and not in terms of ego so I look good, but in terms of owning it so that I'm a master of it and people can trust me to guide them, or, you know, as a coach, as a professional, as an expert that travels the world, coaching people from all walks of life, all financial, you know, levels. I've got to be so practiced that nothing, literally, not one example of what's going on in their lives, not one example of their business, because I do both business and personal development. Nothing can knock me off because I'm so practiced. So that's like kind of a, I'll put that in the chat too. Just kind of
Yeah,
like if
can you repeat
anybody's
the
struggling with
P's?
something, yeah, pay the price of practice in private to perform perfectly in public.
Yeah.
Because
Nice one.
spontaneity is a conditioned reflex. Spontaneity, like nobody runs a business, but well, not this. I'm sure plenty of people run their business by the seat of their pants. However, if you don't have systems, processes, you're not practiced, you don't know what you're doing, you don't have your scripts dialed in and trackable so that you know this works when I say this to the vast majority of people, like then you are just, you're not building something with sustainability. And so in like the personal development world, like we're doing today, it's even more important because you're dealing with people's like what's at stake for their lives. Their lives are at stake. It's not just their business and their livelihood, like their lives are at stake. Because at the end of the day, you can still muscle through everything. But if you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life and you're miserable and you start feeling the weight of regret that you can never change because you didn't make those choices in the moment when you should have, and it took you in a different direction, which equaled a different result, then you're going to face depression and anxiety that you've never faced before. And my purpose in life is to help people avoid that.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So Ian's moving towards what provides him the most passion and excitement, right? Which happens to be assisting others in all these different ways, in business and in personal and in systems and processes, and helping them shatter old stories. Sounds familiar to myself. Probably why we're aligned. Oh man. On the business side, so I try not to actually dive into business on the Monday Manifest call, but I will say this about, so those 3 questions that we just asked ourselves, right? How do we show up better for us today? How do we show up better for someone else, acts of service or what we can do? And what can we do today that drives us forward towards that which gives us more excitement and passion in our lives? The 4th thing at that one moment, right? Then you can start to go down the finance or production path. But I want to remind everyone here the things that I've learned over the last specifically 10 years, right? Finance and production. We can grind our way to $1 million. We can grind our way to become a millionaire in any business that we do. W-2, self-employed, real estate, entrepreneurship, wholesaling, rehabbing, whatever, it doesn't matter. But actually holding it and doing it with flow, doing it as something with fun and attracting better deals, attracting better private money, and attracting better partnerships. This is why we focus on everything else around the finance and production piece first. It's very, very, very important that we have our family or our faith and our fitness, all of these things together, right? And when we have those 3 things together, then we're in a position of power. Now we can attract better profits. Now we can start attracting and putting ourselves in a higher alignment. I can talk to everyone here knows a lot of my stories. I can tell you why that's the case. But otherwise, you've probably seen enough podcasts of me going over my journey, especially over the past 10 or 15 years. One of them being Brian's podcast. One of the best ones ever, by the way, Brian. Thank you for that. So, for those of you stressing about something in your business today, for those of you stressing about something that you're feeling, something that you're going through, I also want you to remember today, taking that step back, that perspective back, and realizing that you and your body is made of stardust, and you've become from rocks, dirt, water, and air, and you were sent off from an explosion in the universe 13.8 billion years ago, and you're now hurtling yourselves on a planet through one of maybe a million galaxies, and your problems are not that important today. So you get to live in a place where you just get to enjoy having those opportunities and at-bats like Dickens do. Enjoy being able to wake up this morning and saying, fuck, I'm here again. This is awesome. What can we do today? Like, and that's the childlike curiosity thing that I was going to just sort of bring up to you guys today. This came to me really loudly this morning in a voice when I was doing my meditation. And, you know, we now pay money to therapists to bring us back into our childhood. And a lot of that is that shadow work to kind of work through those traumas. But you know what they also are doing is bringing us back into a childhood to retrieve a piece of our childhood back, where as adults, don't we just want to have fun again? Don't we just want to maybe stop stressing and not feel the pressures of what we've put on ourselves? Because that's all it is. We put this on ourselves, right, as adults. What if you could walk through today and you made a commitment, like every single time, this is my commitment that I made to myself. Every time I see a curb, I'm going to just jump and try to balance on that curb or rock wall, right? I'm going to go over there, and if I see a ball, I absolutely have to kick this ball, or have to pick it up, and I have to throw it up in the air and try to catch it, right? Like, our kids are the strongest teachers of who we were and who we are supposed to be at our core. At our core, we don't have to be completely pressured, responsible adults that have to stress their way through and produce in all these different levels and forget about self-care and forget about who we're supposed to be and just enjoying what life is. This has been the journey here, at least for me over the past 10 years. And if I can take just one microsecond, one feeling of the things that I have learned over these past 10 years and transition one piece of that to you here to start your week in a much better way, that would be my only, hey, listen, that would be my purpose, just one person. I see Derek, who just came on with his video. Derek, good morning, man. Do you want to share anything, dude? I'm shocked you're even here. I know you can't make it usually.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. Happy to see all you guys. So I'm enjoying the call. Yeah, that's about it, man. I love it.
How are you starting your week off, man?
Pretty good. I trained this morning. Just working. I got some calls to make, follow up on some leads. I got to try to get in touch with the state athletic commission this week. State employees, you know how they are. So, yeah, man, just trying to put all that stuff together, you know.
So for everybody else listening, what is the one thing that's really driving Derek with his excitement and passion right now in his life?
So a couple partners and I are in the process, very early stages of putting on a charity Muay Thai event. In 2025, the goal is to raise money for mental health services for low-income people in the greater Boston area. So it's like a lot of we're in like the red tape phase right now. We got to get in touch with the state athletic commission and like, make it as legit as possible. But the goal for it is to make it the biggest combat charity event that we can in the New England area in the next few years. So that's what I'm on.
That's awesome. So I want everyone to hear that. Do you see how like Derek focusing on that to start his week, especially instead of saying, "Oh, how do I get more leads?" You guys see the difference in vibration? You see the difference in energy, right? That because that energy shift within him is going to be how he shows up at a better level for everything else he does, for production, for finance, for anything else that he wants to do. That's awesome. Derek, I'm so happy you're joining us, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, dude. That's
Thank you,
cool.
man.
Yeah. All right. So as we go to before we move into affirmations, I want to ask, does anybody else have anything they want to share? No one here? All right.
Yeah,
Brian,
I'll
get in
speak
there,
up.
dude.
Sure. Over the weekend, came up with a plan. Some of you know that I run 2 different businesses, and it's which wolf do you feed? So I've decided to just put a marker in the middle of the day. The first half of the day is wolf number 1, second half of the day is wolf number 2, and try to balance those 2 wolves and give them nutrition equally so they can both grow. Wolf number 1 is doing fine. Wolf number 2 is looking a little thin. So we got to put some meat on his bones.
Yeah. Those wolves being, is that production and business and finance?
One is Bel Air, one is BHB.
Yeah. All right,
So
good. So
one is management, the other is acquisitions.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful. And to share too, since I know your business, Brian, there's a lot of people here who, real estate is still the grind. It's a struggle. It's trying to start and scale. At the same time, based on what I know of you, your childlike curiosity. I'm sure that there are times when maybe things get a little frustrating, but looking at you right now, like look at the smile, look at him like treating them like wolves, like little pets, right? Like, okay, let's take care of this one today. Let's make sure this one's fed a little bit more. This specific, just looking at it in this specific way, right? It's been serving you. Would you agree?
Yes.
Was there ever a
Yeah.
moment when you were stressed out and trying to force things and trying to make shit work?
Sure. Back in the US, working 80 hours a week, just grind. Coming away from all that has forced me to work on it, not in it.
Yeah.
So this environment change has been really healthy to get perspective on where I am and what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you did have a really great podcast, Nick. The end of that podcast was the best.
Brian got me on the podcast when I was knee deep in the spiritual awakening journey, and as we all know, it's not necessarily all butterflies and roses. So we had it was a beautiful moment where that was in the middle of me quitting everything, not wanting to do anything with my life, trying to find out who I was. So it was beautiful. I got some my own clarity with those questions. I'll post it. We'll post that up. I don't think we posted that on our Facebook group yet, so I want to post that one up. That was good. All right, everybody. I want everybody to take a deep breath. I'm going to take 2 more deep breaths. Deep breath in. It's Monday. It's a beautiful, glorious day full of love, prosperity, and opportunity coming at us from everywhere possible. We have people who love us. We love ourselves. Everything that's happening for us is happening for us today and this week. Every single opportunity that we get with a loved one or a partner or a child or a business team or a leader or a seller rep, whatever that might be, everything is an opportunity. Everything is a repetition. Everything is an opportunity for us to expand who we are, to grow and to become better in every way that we want to and be desired, because that's the only purpose in this lifetime is expansion. Expansion of our consciousness, expansion of ourselves as a leader, expansion of ourselves as a lover, both to ourselves and to everyone else that we encounter. Today and this week, I choose love. Today and this week, I choose pure abundance. And money and the energy of money and wealth flows to me easily and freely from all sources. Everything I encounter is fun and flowy. I can look at life with childlike eyes all around me and see the beauty and the wonder and the curiosity of what everything around me is to do in my life in this moment. I choose love, I choose abundance, I choose joy. I choose all those things that provide me those three things, and I give and serve to others in the same capacity. I know that I can only give to others in the same way that I give to myself, which is why I'm focused on self-care, on self-love today and now. And I want to pour into the people who mean the most to me in this world. So right after this call, I'm going to send a loving message to the person that I choose today. And after that, I know that my life is as I design it. I take full control of my life and everything in it. I am fully responsible for everything in my life right now, which also means I'm fully responsible for everything in my life next week, next year, and next decade. So I get to choose. I get to choose what seeds I plant today. And I do so with love, with happiness, with joy, opportunity, prosperity, and curiosity. And let's go start this amazing week off in the best way possible. 3, 2, 1, deep breath in. Love you all. That was a good one. Appreciate you very, very much. Check in with your WhatsApp chats. Check out the Facebook group, REI Life Unlimited, as well as the Life Unlimited group if you're into that. And we'll see you next Monday, 9 o'clock. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.